Yeah. 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 Mystic Matt turned fives to stacks. Harley King bleps rolling like tracks. Doubters gonna hate, but the cheddar's fat. UFC nights turning pennies to racks. Spread too wide, Vegas holding the breath. Props and parlays betting like nothing left. Pull the underdog moves like a chess grandmaster. Break the bank, they'll respect you faster. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange. $5, $10, pocket rocket. Fight night knowledge, stacking ticket. Vegas odds shaking, they can pick it. Mystic Matt, every win a ticket. Cash coming in, steady river flow. Count it out, often doubters laying low. Parlay stacked, high pro, gamma show. Mystic's foresight, bets overflow. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange.
And what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Change to Cheddar, my Friday post-weigh-in betting right here on the Golden Octagon. We're going to run through prelims all the way up to main card. I'm going to give you my final picks and predictions for every fight on the card. And then at the end of the show, I have 3 parlays to share with you, 2 $10 parlays and 1 $5 parlay. I do have to let you guys know that the previous past 2 London cards have been my 2 best betting fight entire cards that I've had the whole time that I've been doing this. So hoping to make it 3 for 3 over these past 3 London cards, kind of nervous because I'm not as confident as I was the past 2 cards, if I'm going to be honest, but hey, went ahead, cooked up some parlays, and hopefully we can, how do I say this? Pay off my house and, quit my job because I have a $5 parlay to win 190 grand. Are we going to win it? Unlikely, but hey, at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. So without any further ado, we got Gamma Chad. What's going on? I appreciate you stopping by here today. We don't have anyone else in the chat. So if y'all are here, feel free to drop some chats in there and I'll pull them up on the screen. We got Lush in here. We got Change to Cheddar with Mystic Matt. I appreciate it, Lush. Thanks for stopping by tonight, brother. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll go ahead and full screen the weigh-in photos. So the weigh-in photos on the left here are from the official weigh-ins this morning, and the face-off photos are on the right from the ceremonial weigh-in. So as you'll see, Guram Kutateladze is absolutely cut up, and I have to be honest, Kyle Fernandez didn't look too great this morning on the scale. Kind of stumbled a little bit there. I don't know if it was the scale wiggling or he, wasn't very didn't have a good balance. Anyway, with that being said, my fight prediction does not change here. I am still on Guram Kutateladze to finish Kyle Fernandez at some point in this fight. I'm going to be honest. 3 or decision is what I kind of like the most, but if I'm going to be honest, Guram could get Kyle Fernandez out of there in one of the first 2 rounds. He's been training with Ilya Topuria and his brother in Georgia. He is the Georgian Viking, if you didn't know. Currently odds for this fight, minus 395 for Guram Kutateladze. Kyle Fernandez is plus 310. Your underdog. Over-under on this one is set at 2.5. Over minus 166. The under is plus 130. Yeah, for me, it's Guram Kutateladze 3 or decision, but I don't hate Guram Kutateladze finish either. I do like both of those. I kind of see him getting it done late. So Guram, let's say 3rd round knockout. Up next, we do have Nathan Fletcher taking on Colin the Don Loughran. Odds for this fight, minus 135 for Nathan Fletcher. Colin Loughran is plus 114. Your underdog. Over-under on this one is set at 2.5. The over, minus 250. The under is plus 190. with that being said, look at the height difference that Nathan Fletcher has. He was on the Ultimate Fighter at 145, and the fight is at 135. So coming down a weight class, and he does have the size advantage here. And the reason that I am on Nathan Fletcher this week is just because Colin Loughran just kind of looked bad against Jake Hadley, who was coming up from 125 in his last fight, was able to get taken down and kind of got boxed up. I don't expect the finish to come either way. Nathan Fletcher training with Paddy Pimblett in his camp, and I know that Paddy Pimblett and Nathan Fletcher, Paddy Pimblett and Colin Loughran have had some words back and forth themselves. So I know this whole camp wants the Nathan Fletcher to get this dub. So I expect them to come in and have a pretty solid game plan. Give me Nathan Fletcher to win this fight via decision. Up next, we got Mama B, Shauna Ban, taking on Pooja, the Cyclone, Tamar. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I am on Shauna Ban via decision, and it's mostly just because Pooja Tamar got an absolute robbery decision win in her last fight against Hayani Amanda. I don't know how anyone thought she won that fight, but with that being said, she's just on her back foot quite a bit. And if you're going up against Shauna Bannon, I'd expect her just to play tag with Pooja Tamar, just hitting her with front kicks, jabs. She has this like in and out karate stance. She's not going to hurt her by any means, but I believe she'll touch Pooja Tamar more. So give me Shauna Bannon, Mama B via decision. Odds for this fight are Shauna Bannon minus 170, Pooja Tamar plus 142. The over-under is 2.5. The over minus 560. The under is plus 370. Yeah, for me, it's Shauna Bannon via decision. Probably split decision somehow as well. Anyway, moving on, we've got Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Andre Pulaev. Yeah, Christian Leroy Duncan was the last one to weigh in this morning and looked like absolute garbage on the scale. You know, not even going to lie to you guys. Confidence in him has dropped quite a bit, if I have to be honest. But if from my take earlier in the week, I've just kind of said that he's dumb. He fights in a dumb way. He just spins a whole lot. He just kind of fucks off the whole fight. So with that being said, I didn't mind the over to begin with. I still don't mind the over now, especially with him looking like ass. If you thought he was going to get a finish this week, but your confidence in that should drop quite a bit. I still think Christian Leroy Duncan wins, but Christian Leroy Duncan via decision for me. Odds for this minus 485 for Christian Leroy Duncan, plus 370 for Andre Pulaev. Over under is 1.5. The over is minus 160. The under is plus 124. Yeah, I don't mind the over at all here. Just because the way that Christian Leroy Duncan fights, he does not put his foot on the gas at all. So moving to the next, we've got Mick Parkin taking on Marcin Tybura. Odds for this fight: Marcin Tybura plus 124. Your underdog. Mick Parkin minus 148. Your favorite. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over minus 145. The under is plus 114. Yeah, everyone and their mom that I've seen is pretty much on Mick Parkin this week. I've seen a few people on Marcin Tybura, but everyone's kind of thought process kind of just the same here. Marcin Tybura a little bit older. At this point, the game plan's kind of out there to beat him, and Mick Parkin does train with someone that has recently beat Marcin Tybura in Tom Aspinall. They both train at the same camp. And Mick Parkin has shown in his last fight that he does have the power to get someone out of there, especially early. So for me, it's Mick Parkin lines for my best bet for this fight, just because it's minus 148. It's not too bad to parlay, and even if you wanted to throw some money at that, your return isn't too bad back. So for me, does Mick Parkin finish Marcin Tybura? And I say yes. I just think so. I think there's something out there, some sort of game plan out there that Tom Aspinall's camp has seen to get Marcin Tybura out of there early. So we'll see if Mick Parkin has the power to get it done. I say he does. I'm not sure if I said the odds or not. Mick Parkin minus 148. Marcin Tybura plus 124. Over under is 2.5. Over is minus 145. The under is plus 114 For me, it's Mick Parkin. Let's go Mick Parkin round 2 knockout. Moving on, we do have Loner Kavanaugh taking on Lipe dos Santos, or Lipe Daytona, if you will. Loner Kavanaugh is minus 278, your favorite. Felipe dos Santos is plus 225, your underdog. The over-under on this one is set at 2.5. The over is minus 260. The under is plus 195. Yeah, still, I don't have a huge lean either way. I don't have a huge confidence in this fight either way. But I don't mind Felipe Santos. That is who I did pick to win this fight. And, I'm kind of liking it a lot more after we've seen the face-offs, because Felipe dos Santos does have a solid size advantage. And, in his few fights, he has been semi-impressive in some parts of them. This fight is sea level. He shouldn't gas. Give me the underdog here at a plus 225. Felipe dos Santos. Give me Felipe dos Santos via decision. And I'm going to bet I don't think so. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, where we have the Black Country banger, Jai Herbert, taking on Taco Chris Padilla. Yeah, this is one that I was on Taco Chris Padilla earlier in the pretty heavy, not going to lie. And after weigh-ins, I think my confidence in it just isn't as high as it was before I saw the wins. I do like Taco Chris Padilla to win this fight. I do like Taco Chris Padilla to win this fight via finish, and to be specific, I like him to win this fight via submission. Jai Herbert, he's pretty much only good on the feet, and his past few fights, he's only one decision. The banger part of the Black Country banger has kind of been taken out, if I'm going to be honest. So kind of been point fighting quite a bit. So if he's going to be cautious and, just be trying to point fight the whole time, I expect Taco Chris Padilla to get on his hips at some point and I get Jai. What am I saying? Where do I go? To get Jai Herbert to the ground and find our naked choke at some point. Odds for this fight currently minus 110 apiece. Over under set at 2.5. The over is minus 135. The under is 105. For me, it's Taco Chris Padilla via, let's go, second round submission. So with that being said, well, look that off. That was the prelims. If you guys don't mind, before we head into the main card, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for your boy. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the main card. Up first, we do have the prospect Nathaniel Wood taking on the last pirate Morgan Charrier. Odds for this fight are Nathaniel Wood plus 114, your underdog. Morgan Charrier is minus 135, your favorite. The over-under on this one is set at 2.5. The over is minus 245. The under is plus 118. Yeah, for me personally, Nathaniel Wood's not big enough to be a 145er. He just had trouble making 135. He's like a solid in between. He's like 100. And he would honestly be like a perfect 140-pound fighter. He is unfortunately not. Charrier probably more power here. Probably for sure has the better chin here, because Nathaniel Wood gets hurt in basically every single one of his fights. But I wouldn't consider Morgan Charrier to be the most lethal finisher. He does have some finishes, though, but I kind of expect this to be a close, competitive fight. And if it goes to decision, it could get sketchy unless Morgan Charrier has at least a few good moments in every single round, which I expect him to. So for me, it's Morgan Charrier 3 or decision. I'm not sure if I said odds. Yeah, I did. Morgan Charrier 3 or decision for me. Up next, we have Jordan, the Epidemic Vucinic, taking on Chris the Problem Duncan. So Jordan Vucinic looked in UFC debut against Guram Kutateladze, super short notice, and he looked really, really good. The thing is, he still lost the fight, and the price that we're having to pay on him is kind of disgusting, not gonna lie, because Chris Duncan is a pretty solid fighter. He's tough, but kind of like Nathan Wood, he gets hurt a lot in every single one of his fights. And this morning, you see him on the scale with the glasses. He looked really sucked out this morning. Don't know how much he's going to be able to fill back up. There was a kind of little friendly little handshake after this is done, because they do have a bet on this fight. They have a tattoo bet. Whoever loses this fight gets the winner's fight name tattooed on their ass cheek, apparently. With that being said, there's one there is one gaping hole to Chris Duncan's game, and that is once he gets taken down, he really doesn't know what he's doing. So, with that being said, I say expect Vucinic to get at least a few takedowns here, and I expect him to find a late finish, whether that's ground and pound or submission. So, with that being said, give me Jordan Vucinic with a late second round submission. Yeah, should be a fun fight though. Up next, we have Molly, the Meatball McCann, taking on Alexa Thainara. Plus 195 is your underdog. Molly McCann. Alexa Thainara is minus 238, your favorite. The over-under on this one is set at 2.5. The over is minus 215. The under is plus 166. I'm not overthinking this one at all. It is Alexis Thainara via submission. The Meatball, you know, she just gets submitted every single fight now. So it took me 15 seconds to figure out what was going to happen. I just looked at Alexis Thainara's record over her past, 6-7 fights, all wins by early submission. She does have a few knockouts there as well. But Molly, that seemed to be her absolute kryptonite, is if you can take her down, lock up any sort of choke or armbar in specifically. She's done. She's ready to get out of there. She is in her hometown, and I do see a couple people here and there picking Molly to win this fight, but it ain't me. It's Alexis Thainara via round 1 submission. Yeah. Up next, we have the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, taking on Gunnar Nelson. With that being said, this is my favorite play on this entire card is Kevin Holland moneyline. Earlier in the week, I had him at solid plus money, plus 115. Now we are looking at minus 102 for Kevin Holland and minus 118 for Gunnar Nelson. Over under on this one at 2.5. The over is plus 130. The under is minus 166. With that being said, for me, it's Kevin Holland via knockout. Whether that's round 1, round 2, or round 3, I don't think Gunnar Nelson has the wrestling to get Kevin Holland down. And even if he does, I don't think he keeps him there. So with that being said, Kevin Holland, let's go Kevin Holland round 2 knockout. Kevin Holland, come back to us, baby. Come on, Trailblazer. Up next, co-main event of the evening, we have Carlos, the Black Jag Alberg, taking on Jan Polish Power Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz plus 235, your underdog. Carlos Alberg is minus 290, your favorite. Over-under on this one is set at 2.5. The over is minus 145. The under is plus 114. Yeah, for me here, I don't really like the odds, if I'm going to be honest. I do like Solberg to win this fight, but I do not like him as a damn near minus 300 favorite. But with that said, Jan Blachowicz coming off 2 shoulder surgeries, so probably not going to look the greatest coming back, if we're going to be honest. And his physical shape doesn't look great either. He's older now. Probably going to come in there with 2 knee braces, two ankle wraps. Jan's just old at this point. So for me, Carlos is the much quicker fighter, has better footwork. And if Jan Blachowicz tries to rush in at any point, I think Carlos Alberg might put him to sleep. But let's hope that Jan Blachowicz isn't going to rush in. Let's just hope that Jan Blachowicz just try to plots around and just kind of gets picked apart for all 3 rounds, because Jan Blachowicz is a tough man. So with that being said, for me, it's Carlos Alberg via decision. That being said, main event of the evening, we have Leon Rocky Edwards taking on Sean Brady. Man, Leon Edwards has kind of been looking past Sean Brady this week, and it's not a good look. He's been talking about how short he is, and at the weigh-ins, he's kind of like looking over him and talking about how he just wants to fight Bilal again. He doesn't really see any threat in Sean Brady, this and that. And it's just a bad look, because what happens when Sean Brady comes out here and, takes down Leon Edwards 2, 3, 4, 5 times, drops him on his head, jumps on his back, and wraps up his neck? He's going to look like an idiot. Yeah, odds for this fight, plus 130, Leon Edwards, underdog. Favorite is minus 155, Sean Brady. Over under is 4.5. The over is minus 230. The under is plus 175. For me, I think Sean Brady is able to get to Leon's hips multiple times. And I think by the third round, Leon's ready to get out of there. And by that point, Sean Brady wraps up a neck, and we see the first submission in Leon Edwards. Or we see the first time that Leon Edwards has been submitted in his career here. So for me, it is Sean Brady via third round submission. So with that being said, that's my pick for every single one of the fights. If you missed them, feel free to rewind. But I'm not going to go back through all of them. Yeah, I'm nervous. I have to be honest, y'all. I am nervous this week because I do have a few big bets. I'm not going to share my big parlays with you guys because I don't want you guys to try to tell them and you lose as much money as I'm probably going to lose. But what I will do is share with you 3 parlays, $25, 2 $10 parlays, and 1 $5 parlay. Let's get into it. Up first, well, that's not. Come on. Let's remove that one. Up first is a $10 parlay. This is kind of like my confidence parlay of the fights that I have a thought on. However, I don't have them locked up in any of the other 2 I'm going to do you guys next. So with that being said, first parlay is a 6-leg parlay plus 12.27. So $10 to win $132. And it goes like this. 6-leg parlay, Guram Kutateladze money line. The Ethan Fletcher versus Colin Lawford fight to go over 2.5 rounds. The Shauna Bannon money line. The Christian Leroy Duncan versus Palayev fight to go over 1.5 rounds. Loner Kavanaugh versus Felipe de Santos to go over 2.5 rounds. And Carlos Ulberg to win by 3 or decision. So that's parlay number 1. As I said, $10, kind of like my confidence parlay that doesn't include any or not a lot that includes these next 2 that I'm going to show you right now. So parlay number 2 is a 7-leg parlay, $10 to win $549. And it goes like this. Guram Kutateladze by finish, KO or submission, doesn't matter how. Nathan Fletcher versus Colin Lawford to start round 3. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andre Palayev to start round 2. Mick Parkin moneyline, Chris Padilla moneyline, Morgan Charrier moneyline, and Jordan Vucinic to win by knockout or submission. Finish, basically, doesn't matter how. $10 to win $549.72. And our last one. And if you missed the beginning of the show, man, this is not focusing. If you missed the beginning of the show, I did let you guys know the third parlay is a big one. $5 to win $190,000, y'all. If we hit this one, I'm paying off my house and I'm going on vacation, and y'all ain't seeing your boy for a few weeks. So if you've got $5 to lose, $5 to waste, but $5 to possibly change your life, here's your chance, baby. Last parlay, 7 legs. As I said, $5 to win $190,000, and it goes like this. Mick Parkin via finish, KO or submission. Chris Padilla via finish, KO or submission. Morgan Charrier to win by 3, round 3 or decision. Jordan, the Epidemic, Vucinic to win by submission in round 2 or 3. Alexis Thinara to win by submission in round 1 or 2. Kevin, the Trailblazer Holland, to win by knockout in round 1 or 2. And Sean Brady to win by submission in round 2, 3, or 4. So if you've got $5 to waste, but possibly $5 to change your future, there's your chance, baby. Hopefully, you're going to have some fun tomorrow afternoon because we do have some fights 1 p.m. East Coast time for the prelims, 4 p.m. East Coast time for the main card. So with that being said, please remember, do not be betting when you can afford to lose. You know, at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. So you can be so confident, you know, someone get clipped with, you know, the perfect punch. Someone get hit with a head kick. We saw something crazy last week, a head kick and the rear naked choke by Carlos Vera. So shit happens all the time. You know, doesn't ever hurt to just throw a few dollars at that big dog. So with that being said, let me see if you guys got anything going on before we get out of here. We got Gamma Chad, go big or go home. Yes, sir, indeed. And then I think Olberg is a hype train. Old man on Nelson. He could. You know, it wouldn't be the first time we saw Kennedy and Chukwi, you know, just last and then melt them there in the third. So it could happen. It wouldn't be too surprising, but that's why I don't have Carlos Olberg in everything, because you know, you can't be confident in everything. And if you are, that's going to be the one that's going to burn you. Like me this week, I'm confident on Kevin Holland. I'm pretty sure I get the fight done. My most confident play on the card, but I tried to not play him in everything just because I know how it happens. So with that being said, good luck if you're betting the fights this weekend, but you know, don't be betting more you can afford to lose. Have some confidence. Just give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? You lose $5-10, you know. But with that being said, my name is Matt. This is the Golden Octagon. Change to Cheddar, my Friday first weigh-in betting show. If y'all haven't already, hit that thumbs up button for your boy, and I will see you guys early next week for a card show. Peace.